third and final day of the conference. I saw some really excellent Cybersecurity skills last night, so I heard that the party went on for quite some time, so I'm sure everybody enjoyed the perfect Greek party last night. And I think there are also some pictures floating around of people in various dance poses, so I think all in all we can say definitely a successful night. Our prize draw, as Giorgio just mentioned, will be after the session, so please, if you have your STEM card with you, put it in the box. And if you want to be part of the discussion, please engage again in the conversation by posting your questions and sending us your comments. I have the tablet with me again, so we also had some still unanswered questions, and I was trying to investigate. So for people who want to know the tradition about the flowers, we had at least one person, Maria. She came to our rescue and told us that it comes from, ancient, sort of times ago, basically when people were parading for, let's say, the Festival of Spring or some kind of occasion, that we were throwing first plates, and that, of course, is at some point not really helpful. So people chose flowers later on, and today it's just a tradition for the bouzouki. So for some people, bouzouki is also a tradition and a religion. So the flower throwing is apparently something also just to celebrate life. So really, really nice. Also, some people asked me about the photos that were taken by the photographer. You will receive an email with a link. It might be then for Flickr or for another page, but definitely the photos will be shared and will be uploaded. Also, the presentations will be available probably by next week and will be uploaded on the Major Cities of Europe website. And also people asked me, how green are we with this conference? And I tried to investigate as well. And we tried not to print too much paper, so most of the stuff is paperless. Also, the whole advertising for the conference was digital, not with print. And also the caterer we used was trying to use, all kinds of energy-saving methods, so we tried there. So I hope at least, in some ways we try to be sustainable and make sure that we don't throw away too much. Of course, also we have again Michaela with us today. She is our interpreter, so that you don't miss a beat in your preferred language. And to sum up yesterday, it's not easy being green. Yes, you can wear a green suit, but that doesn't help. But at the end of the day, I hope you found some pointers so that we can become more sustainable. And before we begin the main session, I would like to introduce to you our first speaker of the day with a special technology focus on blockchain and resilience as a response to chaos. Michalis Christakis is a political and administrative scientist and the president of the Pan-Hellenic Association of General Secretaries in municipal authorities in Greece, called Klestenes. And so where do we stand with blockchain technology? Let's find out with Michalis Christakis in the next 10 minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Coordinator. First of all, I would like to thank the Mayor, Mr. Kalogiannis, for inviting us. I should say to start that we collaborate with the municipality of Larissa since 2017, and in fact we had organized a major conference here in the city of Larissa in 2019 regarding all the affairs that have to do with the mobility of the people in the towns, because we thought that the city of Larissa was an exceptional one, and in fact we are thinking of organizing another conference again. When we cooperated in Thessaloniki with Mr. Gousios and Mr. Lidou, we thought that the issue of this conference was a key issue for the next decade, meaning that all the crises that we have to face from now on, or that we are facing already, like the pandemic one, it's going to really create a lot of problems in the minds of the people who they would have to take up their minds or to make decisions in order to handle the situations, these problematic situations of everyday governing in the local government area. So we thought that the title From Chaos to Cosmos was a very brilliant one. I should congratulate the ones that they thought about it. And we tried to come up with an innovative idea and innovative approach about how we should really think of a holistic approach of strategic planning in the next day. That's why we thought that maybe we should move into a different approach, such as, let's say, to use blockchain. Blockchain with resilience, because resilience is the only way to have a more strategic planning, just for us to be ready and prepared for what? For being ready, let's say, and resilient in order to face all the faults and, let's say, the crisis that we have to face today or tomorrow. Would I change how am I going to make the changes of, sorry, I didn't see it. Thank you. Blockchain and resilience, well, as a response to chaos. That's what we think. Christakis is the Association of the Secretaries Generals of the municipalities here in Greece. 230 Secretaries Generals out of 330 municipalities in Greece, 332 to be exact. And these are the things that we're going to discuss in the next 9 minutes. Function in an environment of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. That's the VUCA environment. Blockchain technology as a service, BaaS, as we're going to see it afterwards, about how do we achieve resilience and how do we involve risk management as we see it from now on. That's the VUCA environment that we face today. I mean, the 4 factors, it's volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. That's what we face every day, and we should face with that, and we should give responses into all this. That's what I see. It was Bennett and Lemoyne in 2014 that they described this issue, and we say that heads of administrative units are called to manage expectations of different stakeholders, not shareholders, stakeholders, and various mentalities of the civil servants to work with systemic conflict, run effectively their unit, and at the same time transform it. That's why we should be better equipped to face effectively contemporary challenges and threats. Under these circumstances, effective administration and leadership goes beyond the limits and responsibilities of the one and only leader and hierarchical manager who has the ability to control either in a charismatic way, sort of speaking, or using expertise, which is the most probable, in order to solve complex and rapidly changing problems. There is a need, for sure, for new systems which will enable to meet the new challenges effectively through a multivariable, and I mean it, multivariable and technologically advanced approach. I give an explanation here regarding volatility. As events unfold in completely unexpected ways, it's becoming impossible to determine cause and effect. Sometimes these two are blurred. Uncertainty has to do with the impossibility to plan for investment. I'm trying to see how I point. I don't know. Sorry. It's always down. It's becoming nearly impossible then to plan for investment, development, and growth as it becomes increasingly uncertain where the route is heading. It's like the energy cost today. Complexity. Decisions are reduced to a tangled mesh of reaction and counter-reaction, like handling a crisis, and choosing the single correct path is almost impossible nowadays. And finally, ambiguity. It's like describing a world where the what takes a backseat to the why and the how. Making decisions nowadays requires a lot of courage, a lot of awareness, and a willingness to make failures and then to correct them. That's a plan of how we can arrange these four factors: complexity, volatility, ambiguity, and uncertainty. As Lemoyne said in 2014. To close this section, what I propose, as I say, the new normal in governing, in central and local government, from VUCA to VUCA, meaning from volatility we have to use vision. For uncertainty we have to use understanding. For complexity we have to use clarity. For ambiguity we have to use agility. That's our approach. That's a contemporary approach, how we should face all these problems. We shouldn't forget to use the 17 sustainable goals of the UN, because that's the modern way of doing it now since 2014. And in fact, everything that the government is passing through the parliament as a law, I mean, is always connected with one of the 17 goals of sustainability from the UN. And in fact, we have already 3 municipalities in Greece that they have done their first mapping in terms of planning in relation to the 17 sustainable goals. Let's move to the main core now. Is blockchain a solution for governance? Modern technology is for sure that is allowing people to communicate and interact directly with the use of voice, video calls, emails, messages, etc. In the cases that we need a transaction, then the procedures require the trust of a third party, because we always and every day do a lot of transactions, such as a public or a local government service point and person usually. There, blockchain technology comes to radically change this sequence. Let's give clarification of what blockchain is. It's a type, let's say, of distributed ledger technology. We should remember what a ledger is, major book that we write a lot of things, that consists of a growing list of records, a lot of records we have, not records that they play music, but records that they say, this man, this woman did that, this name or whatever, that are securely, and I repeat that, linked together using cryptography. Each blocks, and I point the Merkle tree because that's the main idea of all the, let's say, notion of blockchain. Each block contains a cryptographic hash of the previous block, a timestamp, and transaction data, generally represented as a Merkle tree, where data nodes are represented by leaves. We can see this tree on our right hand, and we can see the main theory of Merkle tree over there. It's a lot of records that are making a complex system, which afterwards, by a timestamp, I mean, it's secured as data, and then all of them, they are making a major tree. Let's say the record office of the municipality, for example, or the economics office of the municipality. We can see how the blocks are chained with each other. Timestamp proves that the transaction data existed when the block was created. That's why we use timestamp. Since each block contains information about the previous block, they effectively form a chain, meaning compare, linked, list, data structure, and so on. Consequently, blockchain transactions are irreversible, meaning nobody can touch them or change them. Once they are recorded, the data in any given block cannot be altered retroactively without altering all subsequent blocks. That it is the meaning that it creates a lot of value and security. Which are the components of blockchain? We can see this mapping over here on the right hand. We see, first of all, distribution, secondly, encryption, thirdly, immutability, nobody can change them, then tokenization, they become unique, and finally, everybody has access to them, or everybody who is allowed to have access to them. That's the idea of these 5, let's say, components, as I say, distribution, encryption, immutability, tokenization, and decentralization. If somebody wants, he can read a little bit more of them, but that's the main idea. What is the difference now between Internet of Things and blockchain? Somewhere they go together, but they're not the same. Internet of Things is a term used to describe the ongoing proliferation of always online data gathering devices into our work and personalities. They don't create, though, value and security. So we see all these, let's say, gadgets that we use here on the right hand. Blockchain, though, on the other hand, is an encrypted distributed computer filing system designed to allow the creation of a tamper-proof real-time records. And these are the reasons why we should combine blockchain and IoT. We have an oversight. We have a very valued encryption and storage. We have a smart contract facilities provided by blockchain networks. And finally, we have a very major improvement of security transactions. So we can see the trees, how close they are, and that's why we have to put blockchain and Internet of Things together.
The time.
Okay. End of time. Give me please 2 minutes.
Okay.
We build trust with the citizens. We protect sensitive data. We reduce costs and improving efficiency. And finally, yes, it is a solution for better governance. Why? Because it contains value such as certificates, money, goods, labor, and so on, and creates a very secure record for each transaction that can be verified by the whole community. The idea is that we have an overall major situation, positive situation for benefits and disadvantages. That's why sometimes blockchain should be discussed in order to find the balance between the need of innovation, if we are ready for it, economic growth and social sustainability, because you see that we connected with big data. Yes, it is, but it has to do with the facts that it should be cloud-based. All the applications there, we produce smart contracts, and there we go to the next, that we build resilience, because we have a more holistic approach of planning. That's the main idea. And major question towards this direction is that, are we ready to sustain an evolution like that, meaning in the blockchain area, if we are ready to create an interoperability system, meaning all the software systems to create together and produce reports? Yes, maybe we are, but it's for sure a change of thinking, and that's why it's very important to build on the, let's say, direction of resilience. That means confidence and competence, and you see the main idea of resilience, and I'm closing. If we start thinking this way, we should put in the discussion the issue of risk management. We cannot manage without taking risks. In a VUCA environment, we take risks. That's why I don't want to say anything else more than that. I mean, I'll just conclude. Functioning in an environment of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, the introduction of blockchain technology as a service for government and local government services becomes imperative, one way or another, and is presented as a solution of particular value. At the same time, blockchain technology as a service, that's the main idea. Blockchain as a service for governing should be used in order to enhance systemic resilience of central and local government services, aiming to avoid chaos. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for too much new notions.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I think, for the networking part, you can always, of course, later on talk about this kind of technology and where it's already been used, and maybe exchange experiences.